You know what's pretty amazing? When a month goes by in a product like Softr. Because in a world where so many products fall behind, our product is blazing ahead with amazing updates every month. Here's some of the updates we've had from June and July. We're gonna start doing this recurring update video to showcase all the new things that are going on inside of Softr. First and foremost, welcome to a world in where there is a two-way sync between your Softr data source and your Softr app. We've actually created an entire video on this already if you want to go check that out. But essentially what you're able to do inside of Softr, in the users tab now, you'll see that there is a basic sync that goes both ways between this data source and our user tab inside of Softr. Previously, it was just sending in one direction, where if I added a user here, it would show up in my data source. So if I open up this space in the teammate section, now what'll happen is if I were to add a new user, that's myself, Dimitri in engineering. And if we press refresh table, it then will sync this. I didn't need to press add user. It just automatically did this, which is an awesome update. Now, the next big update is actually in a way that the Airtable API changed. The Airtable API is going to be deprecated in February. Airtable told us about this, and by August 1st of 2023, users will no longer be able to create new API keys. And in February of 2024, these API keys will no longer work. So what we've been doing is moving Airtable authentication to OAuth and moving data source connection to the workspace level. However, we did start supporting the personal access token. So anytime that you create a new app inside of Softr, you'll see that we have the option when we press use template and press Airtable, we have an option for personal access token rather than API key. So if we press personal access token, what you can do is if you go into your Airtable and press create token and type Softr, and then add these different scopes that you see in the preview. So data record, data write, the various options here, select everything, schema as well. Then we can just do all current and future bases in the workspace and create token. Then from there, we copy this link, paste it in there, and then boom, this is connected to our Airtable, not needing the API key. So we're ahead of the curve when it comes to that deprecating feature inside of Airtable. Now, another awesome feature actually has come out inside of Softr when it comes to updating buttons based off URLs. So prior to this, if I were to update this project URL, do something different, and I press settings and changed it to projects 54321 and press save, what would happen is that, for example, this project would not have kept and tracked. Essentially what this does is inside of buttons, like this one, you'll see that it updated to the project page automatically. Prior, I would have had to reattach the project page based off any URL changes. That is not the case anymore. We're too smart for that. Now, another really cool feature that we added is that we can hide entire blocks inside of Softr if certain conditions aren't met. So now inside of a list block, we have the ability to filter so that when a block is empty, rather than it just showing the show empty state message, if this was empty, this would just disappear. So let's say we force this to be the case by making it so that name is some random sets of numbers or some letters. Then if I press publish, you'll see when I go to this page, there's just nothing there because the blocks actually disappeared. That's a nice feature for situations where you don't want to clutter a page with a bunch of different tables or lists that just don't have any information. And last but not least, inside of Airtable, there is a feature where you can limit a linked record selection to a view. So for example, in this client portal, we can edit the field to limit the record selection to a view, and then clients is that specific view. So now within Softr, we go to the client page right here, and you'll see if we filter this to contacts is one of, and then we put, some of these different clients within here, it will actually respect this setting, whereas it wasn't going to either. So if I put Lucy Co and then showcase this app, it would showcase what I filtered to and also take into account this limit record selection to a view, or I can actually pick it to be all rather than just this specific client view. These are the updates that we made in the last little while. We will keep updating you on these different features in the months to come. Thanks for watching, and make sure to check out all of our other content on why Softr is the best app builder out there.